Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I will be filming my TBR for Booktube-a-thon, which takes place next week from the 18th to the 24th. And I will show you the books that I've picked out based on the challenges. The first challenge is to read a book with yellow on the cover, and for that one I've chosen The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson? Graham? I'm so sorry, I don't know. But as you can see, this book is quite yellow. It's been sitting on my shelf for a long time, so I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to get to it. The second challenge is actually one of my favorite challenges because I think it's so creative and so interesting and I'm really excited to do it. And that is to read a book after sunset. In other words, you're not allowed to read the book during the day. So I chose War Brothers, a graphic novel by Sharon E. McKay and Daniel LaFrance. I found this, it's an arc of a graphic novel, which I've never seen before. I found it at the thrift store and was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the art is beautiful, and it actually has really good ratings, so I'm really excited to finally get into this, and I figured a graphic novel would be easy to read after dark. The third challenge is to read a book you discovered through Booktube. And for that, I'm going to hopefully be reading Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This and Carry On are the only Rainbow Rowell books I haven't read, which I know is kind of unusual for a lot of people. Normally, this is the one everybody has read and they haven't read her other ones. So I got this for my birthday last month from my friend, and I'm really excited to finally see what all the hype is about. The next challenge is to read a book by one of your favorite authors, and for that I chose The Light, which is the first book in the Morpheus Road trilogy by D.J. McHale. If you don't know, D.J. McHale wrote the Pendragon series, which I reread a couple months ago and absolutely loved. It's one of my favorite series of all time. So I figured this would be a great time for me to get into his other series and see if I love it as much as the Pendragon books. Another challenge is to read a book that is older than you, and this actually took me a while to find a book that applied to this that wasn't a giant classic that would take me 20 years to read. So I decided on The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald because it's short. This book was written in 1925 and I'm only 23 years old, so that is much older than I am. The next challenge is to read a book-to-movie adaptation, and I also had a little bit of trouble picking a book for this one, so I literally had to sit in front of my shelf for like a good 20 minutes trying to find a book that I hadn't already watched the adaptation for. I decided on Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer because this movie is on Netflix and that's the easiest for me to get a hold of without having to spend money, and I've been really wanting to read this because I've heard really good things about his writing and this book. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with 9/11, which is one of my favorite things to watch documentaries about or read about, so I'm really excited to get into this one, and I hope that it is as good as people say it is. Last challenge is to read 7 books. As you can see, that was 6 books, so I have 3 alternates for this last challenge depending on how I'm feeling by the end of that week and hoping that I finish all 6 of those books. My first option is Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is the second book in the Beautiful Creatures series, which I read 2 or 3 months ago. I read the first one and I had very confusing feelings on how I felt about it. So I have yet to pick up the rest of the books in the series, and it's kind of long, so this might not happen for the readathon. So in case it doesn't and I'm just not in the mood for it, I also have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, which if you saw my Friday Reads video, you'll know that I was planning on reading this soon, hopefully, because it's summer contemporary and I need to read it before the end of the summer before it sits on my shelf for another year. So there's that option. And I also put this in my Friday Reads video. I have an option of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien as well. So that is my TBR minus 2 of these books because I sure as heck am not going to read all 3 of those alternates for read 7 books in a week. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Pray for me and hope that I actually get through most of these next week. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.